financial system that you can relate with, because our financial record is telling us the health of the business. We say take care of your teachers. It is out of what is harvested that you will pay your teachers. We are not asking you to go and borrow money from a Bank of Industry to pay teachers. No, you have to pay from what comes in. So now give yourself a target. Our school should have this number of enrollment and this volume of naira before we can do all of this. So we need to have a restructured financial template of our school. Having said this, I know we may still have a few other questions, but we'll observe a short break and then we'll come back if we still have more questions. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's nice to be back. And thank you for the quality of questions you are sending to us. We have some very exciting questions. Now let's start with this. Do you think whatever game plan one has is subject to government policy which are not stable? Yes, we live in an unstable environment. Government will roll out a policy today, tomorrow they will change it. But some of the time, before they finish rolling it out, they are working against the policy. But then, as a business owner, you must work within these instabilities. You must work within this inconsistency. Then what we do within how it fits into the policy and begin to ask, what if they change this? How can we respond? If they change this, what can we respond? So that will give us, because thinking is the name of the game. Any business that runs the business as it used to run it before will certainly not be able to adapt to this. Ability to be flexible, ability to quickly think out of alternatives. So we need to, yes, a game plan is good, you need it, and then you must also be very responsive to what the policies, and that's why every owner should have understanding of the policies that affects them. And that's why you have to look at the industry and relate to them effectively. Yes, unstable government policy, but we have to live with it. And creativity is the name of the game. Think out of the box. Think as if there's no box. Now, another question is saying, please, how does a school owner at a lager level become, okay, a lager level, a lager. Lager means you are lagging behind, yes. How can a school owner from a lager level become a leader in the absence of sufficient funds? We live in an environment where fund is considered the most important issue. No, I don't believe. Yeah, I know money is important. Fund is very important, but it's not. It is our thought process that attracts the fund that we need. Well, I would like to engage the person who is asking this question offline, because sometimes we allow the fact that if only I have 10 million naira now, I'll be able to do X, Y, Z. No. Think out of that money mode. And yes, I know you will need money, don't get me wrong, but use your imagination. There are other things that you need to put in place before the aspect of money. And you can actually source for funds. If your school is well managed, you can source for finance. You can source for loans. You can source for funds from agencies that are available. There are opportunities. I'm not saying they are easy, but they are possible. You can, you see, the reason why a lot of business school owners in particular, they don't get financial because there is no record. If you ask me now, you need 10 million naira to beef up your financial in your school. My next question is, how will you pay back? A lot of businesses don't have a payback plan. They don't have an agenda that, okay, if I borrow 10 million, have you worked out the cash flow? Have you worked out the payment plan? You must think, because even if you get the free money, you must don't see it as free money. You must record the money, and that is the only way by which you can grow your business. We must have that, otherwise we won't be able to grow. So you need a system that can think deep. Having money is very crucial, but it's not the most crucial, believe me. Now, another question is saying, we talk about technology. What happens when 40% of the workforce are not computer literate? And that's why we talk about people. You know, when we look at the structure, we talk about the structure of the business, we talk about technology, we talk about people. Before you can bring in technology, your people must be able to manage your technology. Because it's not the school owner alone that will be running the system. Everybody, and that's why when you are recruiting, what are the things you are looking at? You must not recruit because somebody is nice or because he's a sister to a cousin or to somebody that's related. No. That's sentiment. You need people who have what it takes to do the business at work. And if currently you have people who don't have experience of technology, please, can you develop them? Can you help them? If you know you can't help them, then you have to offload them. You need people who can help your business. Anybody that is in your business should be able to help your business. If they are not helping your business, they will be hurting your business. And that's the truth. That's the truth. So your people must be able to handle your technology. That is my simple answer on that. Then somebody is asking a question. He said, my question is, how can we start working with teachers that are not digital? Okay, I think I've answered that. Teachers that are not digital literacy during this period. You can't train them if you cannot if you can't improve their skills in IT, then you have to drop them. Look for teachers that can help you. Somebody is asking, my question is simple. How does a school in the rural area effectively execute online learning? You have to, if your school is in the rural area, you have to look at the level of technology that is available there. And you'll be surprised. A lot of villages use phones that have Android. And so, what are we talking about? It's not about having a computer. The phone is the new computer. Your phone is the new computer. So take a sensor. Take a sensor of the kind of phone that they use. So if your students have school and phones that are Android, then it means that it's no longer a rural area. Technology is available in that area. So work with the technology that is available in your area. And online can be as simple as deploying your software on the Android phone, and it can just as well go and serve your purpose. So then we still have another question. How could school help publishers in making payments on time after supply? How could school help publishers by making payment on time after supply? The school is going to make up its mind to pay back on supplies. And these are things that also schools it should be a part of the system. Where what you collect, if it's not only books, if you take uniform from a tailor who supplies uniform to your school, if you take chalks or markers or whatever, you must have, is it a 30-day payment plan? Is it a 40-day payment? You must have payment. If you are not paying cash, you must have an arrangement, and that makes it responsible on your school so that your suppliers will trust you. This school, their 30 days is 30 days. If they say come back in 30 days or you will get alert in 30 days, so make your business to be an integrity compliant business. It may be difficult. Some people, because if you have 100,000 naira now, and then you have a supplier who has supplied and is due for payment, and it's just 50,000, I can tell you that the 100,000 you can use it for other things, but don't use it for other things. Pay back on your debt, and it increases the level of credibility. A lot of businesses are people don't trust them, but let your own school be a trustworthy. So if you are taking supply, reach an agreement, and that's part of the policy you must develop in-house. You must develop a policy with your school. If you take supply for XYZ, how long do we want to keep it before we pay? And then always pay at due time. It's better. It's better. Now, there's another question. Please, how are we going to manage this current academic session for the school owners, teachers, pupils, or students and parents? How do we manage this current academic session? Well, we're going to wait for government to tell us when the school will open. And then please Don't wait until the announcement is made before you begin to get prepared. Get prepared as if school is going to resume on Monday. Begin to think as if school will resume this Monday that we're looking at. And then that is like the Boy Scouts, which the motto of the Boy Scout, be prepared. Be prepared. Get your teachers ready. Always reach out to your students, the parents of your students. Reach out to them on phone. Set up a WhatsApp group. Develop a communication that let them know that you care. Once in a while, send a WhatsApp message to them. I just want to find out that you are keeping safe. I'm just saying, please, we care for you. We are praying for you. Reach out to your customer in times like this. That is prepared so that they will know that you care about them. You are not just care about the money they pay to your school. You care about their well-being. Reach out to them, communicate with them. Reach out to your teachers, communicate with your teachers. Reach out to everybody, all the stakeholders, even your suppliers. Reach out to them and let them know that you are still in business. It's just the COVID that is holding, and the moment COVID is out, you are into business again. Please, these are vital things that we need to put in place. And I know your school will be moving from whatever ladder it is now to become a market leader. Thank you very much. I still expect more questions. If you have them, throw them in. We are here for you.
The questions kept coming in, and while we keep receiving those questions, I'm passing the microphone to the CEO, Mr. Gbadega Adedapo, to answer some of the particular question which was shared by one of the attendees. Thank you very much, and please let us continue to stay attentive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe the time spent so far wasn't a waste, and I believe at the end of the day, every one of us will all remain the same. This question is very important. In our organization, we walk our talk. We are advising schools now to change their process. In our organization as well, we are not sleeping as well. We are not sleeping either. But this question says, will Rashma Publications get online books for schools? It's just kind of unfortunate that in this part of the world, we are used to conventional books. And going by United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 2030, it says quality, Goal 4 says quality education, all inclusive. That is to say, a particular product must have audio books, it must have ebooks, and the physical books is just a format of all what you can get from a particular content. So I'm using this medium to inform every one of us here present in this, all the school owners, that we in Rashma Publications, not to say that we are on it, we have them on ground already. And I believe we are going to communicate this to the school owners and the interested customers soonest. And apart from this, for the past 3 or 4 years now, we've been, reading some of our books, outside Nigeria. So at any given time, in Rashma, we always love to be, in the forefront. So we are there already. So we have our books, available in our formats. So thank you. I believe that answers the issue of, Rashma online books. Thank you very much.
Very quickly, we would like to take the few questions we have with us, and before we wrap up the program. So for those who are requesting for the slides of this presentation, as well as the video of this webinar, you can be rest assured that it will be pushed to your email address. Please be sure that you have submitted your functional email address. So if you have a functional email address, then of course you can be rest assured that the slides, as well as the recordings of this webinar will be forwarded to you. Thank you very much, and please let's continue to stay tuned. In a couple of minutes, we'll wrap up the few questions remaining, and then we'll bring the webinar to a close. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we still have 2 more questions. Question 1 is saying, is it right to ask non-academic staff to go as a result of e-learning? You have non-academic staff, and then is it right to say sack them because they don't have IT knowledge? Well, you have to look at what they do and what they need to do what they do. If you have a cleaner, for example, what role does IT need to play in making him or her to clean effectively? Or you have a security man, do you have a system that he will work with in doing his job? If that is not the case, then don't ask non-academic staff to go if you don't really need to engage them on ICT. So keep your non-academic staff, even if you don't have IT, but you must have the right attitude. Punctual, very friendly, very sincere at their job, and committed to your work. And the second question is saying, in fact, this question is from Anissa Model School, Gombe. He said, considering the social distance policy, how can we go about student population in school bus to be taken to school? How are we going to be loading them? Because the social distancing policy is saying that a vehicle should not take more than 60% of its capacity. Now, I will encourage such schools to sit back and what can we do? It is not what happens to us that is important. It is how we respond to what happens to us. Challenge your school team. What can we do? Do we need to increase transportation fee so that because we will burn more fuel if we are taking less number, and then we need to, or even have to buy more vehicles, or whatever it is, you must think out of the box. And it is, I don't know the distance of your school to where you pick and drop the students, but it is up to you to now ask engage your team to what can we do, and get as many response from your team. Get everybody to think. In fact, the more you allow your people to contribute to how you are running the business, the more engaging they become on your school or your business. So I can't give a straight answer. I tell people, buy more buses. No, that has cost implication. Reduce the number of people you carry. That will discourage enrollment. So I can't give a straight answer, but I can encourage you to. Everybody can think of a peculiar way to handle this situation, because what works in Gombe may not work in Anambra, or may not work in Port Harcourt. So now use your own initiative, your local initiative, to address this particular question. And if you do it and you know it's working, then you can share experience with other people. We call it best practice sharing, and that would be very fantastic. So thank you once again for your time. It's been an exciting experience for me, and I believe you've had one thing or the other learned from this process. Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Once again, we so much appreciate the attention you have given to us. We appreciate the time taken to join us in this webinar. And just like we said earlier on, we will still send out the materials for this presentation to your respective email addresses. Please drop us your questions, drop us your functional email addresses, and then you can be rest assured that we'll also communicate you on the next date for the next webinar. This is the maiden version, and we hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.